All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome. This is just such an exciting day. It's a busy day here in the city of Alexandria, and I know it's an exciting and busy day for our students as well. My name is Gretchen Bulova. I have the honor of being the co-chair of the Alexandria Community Remembrance Project and to welcome you here to the awards assembly for the Equal Justice Initiative, ACRP and Alexandria City High School essay contest. This is a major step in our work with the Alexandria Community Remembrance Project, and thank you for being here to share it today. I'd like to begin by acknowledging some of our elected officials here in the audience. We have with us our Mayor, Justin Wilson, our Vice Mayor, Amy Jackson, Council Member Sarah Bagley, and Council Member Kanik Aguirre. And with us today, we're very honored to have two members of our school board, Jacinta Green and Michelle Reif. And of course, we would not be here as city staff without the tremendous support of our city manager, Jim Parajan. In the audience today also are several members of our Community Remembrance Project Steering Committee. And if you could stand, wave, and let us acknowledge you. Yay. So we are here to acknowledge the scholarship participants, the first, second, and third place award winners, and also celebrate the students who went with us on our trip, our pilgrimage to EJI last October. It truly was an experience that changed our lives and our outlook on our community and really motivated us to keep moving on our journey for racial healing here in Alexandria. When Joseph McCoy was lynched in 1897 and Benjamin Thomas in 1899, they were 18 and 16 years old, and their life was cut short. They did not have any opportunities because of the residence and race issues at that time. Today, we are honored to be able to award these scholarships in their names as a small token of where we have come as a society, and to truly honor those students who are taking this initiative to their heart and soul and to make a difference in society today. So we want to acknowledge you, our future, our hope, and everything that you have done to support ACRP today and the Equal Justice Initiative. Thank you. I'd also be remiss if I did not introduce our representative from EJI here today, Dexius Damtu, if you could stand. It truly means so much to us as a community to do this partnership with EJI and to have you join us for this important ceremony today. So I'm going to turn the program over to Justin Wilson, who is going to read a proclamation, something that is going to be available to all of our students today, and to share with us some thoughts and remarks.
Good morning. Microphone's working, as always, so it's great to see you all here. Welcome to your City Hall. I want to thank Gretchen for all of your leadership and the work that you've done to move this along. You know, in this business, particularly on weekends, I wake up every morning and I have a choice between being which events I will be overdressed for and which events I will be underdressed for. I've worn a suit and tie to many youth soccer games and track meets over the years. So this event is today's event for being underdressed. So thank you all for for being here in City Hall, and particularly for the students that we're honoring today. It is a pleasure to have you here and having you part of this journey, this long journey that we have been on as a community. You know, this is not just an effort for this generation to kind of understand the history of our community, because quite honestly, the impact that we're all going to have, this current generation that's in charge, the impact that we're going to have on our community is waning. The impact that all of you are going to have in the next generation is just getting started, and that's why this educational effort we've been underway and as a community is it would never be as effective if it was just the folks who are in charge right now. We need the entire community to be involved, and that's why it was so impactful and so powerful to bring such a great group of Alexandria City High School students with us down to Montgomery, and I've spoken about this before as we've had these other events. You know, being able to kind of not only internalize that history on my own, but also watching all of you internalize that history along with us was particularly powerful. And I may have eavesdropped a little bit on some conversations, or kind of followed you around and kind of watched what you guys were, how you were reacting to everything that was going on, because it was so amazing to me to see the leaders of our future internalizing that same history, but drawing in a completely different set of conclusions and a different understanding, different context that they approach it with. And I remember being in the Legacy Museum and listening to some of our students who were kind of just behind me and going through the museum and realizing, first of all, seeing some of the sites from Alexandria in the museum and realizing that this is the history that was right under our feet all this time, and haven't had a chance to learn and understand and appreciate in the context of the history that we are experiencing today. And so it was such a privilege to have you all along with us on that journey. And more importantly, I am so excited to see what all of you will do with that knowledge, because I think it's a very powerful knowledge that you now all have, and you're going to do amazing things with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I do have a proclamation here on behalf of my colleagues from the City Council. I'm going to read that, and I think you will all get a copy of it as well when you come up. So let me do that. All right, whereas the citizens of Alexandria stand firmly committed to remembering our past and sharing the whole truth of our history in our effort to correct historic wrongs and promote justice. And whereas Joseph McCoy and Benjamin Thomas were two young black men who were lynched in this city in 1897 and 1899. And whereas students at the Alexandria City High School were invited to explore history, both locally and nationally, through the lens of racial justice and its continuing legacy. And whereas students at Alexandria City High School reflected on how these issues impact their lives and our community and imagined solutions for a future free from such injustices. And whereas Alexandria City and the Alexandria Community Remembrance Project are committed to ensuring racial terror has no place in the present or future, and are actively cultivating a community where diversity is celebrated, and that is unified in its efforts to establish equity for all. And whereas our students, who are our future, have demonstrated that they are dedicated to helping us in this endeavor through their work with the Remembrance Project. That includes lending their talents to and supporting remembrance ceremonies for Joseph McCoy and Benjamin Thomas, and lending their talents and supporting the soil collection ceremony for Joseph McCoy and Benjamin Thomas, and attending a pilgrimage to the Equal Justice Initiative in Montgomery, Alabama, or staying behind and supporting those who could go, and created an award-winning film, which if you haven't seen it, check it out, that captured reflections on the student experience in Montgomery, Alabama, or supporting the students in this effort, and researching and writing essays for the EJI Scholarship Award Contest, or encouraging and supporting students who took part in the contest, and participating in an oral history project with the Office of Historic Alexandria to preserve this important moment in Alexandria's history. Whereas these students will continue to represent Alexandria in the Remembrance Project and honor the lives of Joseph McCoy and Benjamin Thomas after graduation by telling the whole truth of our history and working to further the cause of equity and social justice for all people. Now, therefore, I, Justin M. Wilson, Mayor of the City of Alexandria, Virginia, and on behalf of the Alexandria City Council, do hereby recognize the students of the Alexandria City High School who have participated in any aspect of the Alexandria Community Remembrance Project. You are our social justice warriors, who we will now call the Remembrance students in the City of Alexandria. Let's give a hand for that. In the City of Alexandria, and I call this acknowledgement and appreciation to the attention of all of our citizens, so that the students of the City of Alexandria will always place first and foremost the rights of all humanity, so that our city may be an example for all. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Alexandria to be affixed this 20th day of May, 2023. Thank you all so much for the work that you have done so far. Thank you all so much for the work that you will do in the future. We have been so privileged to have you along this journey with us, and we look forward to continuing to serving alongside you. And that's it for me. So thank you very much. Vice Chair, Secretary from the school. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. Sorry.
He didn't have to do that, but thank you, Justin. Good morning, everyone. Or is it, yeah, still morning, right? I am so happy to be here. I found out last minute that our superintendent was unable to be here, and so she asked me to read her remarks, and I was like, well, Dr. K. Wyatt, I could do remarks, and she was like, no, I want you to read mine specifically, because she wanted to be here so badly for our students, and she has been so very supportive of this project and wanted me to read it word for word, and she told me not to leave out anything. Now, had this ceremony been a couple months down the road, I would be able to have her speech patterns down, the sound of her voice. It would have been just like her being up here, but I'm not able to do that today. But she wrote some wonderful remarks, and I will read them to you. And just from my own personal perspective, I want to thank Gretchen, to thank Audrey, to thank the teams. The Community Remembrance Project has been nothing short of phenomenal, amazing, something that we will remember and take with us for the rest of our lives. So thank you, and thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the support of our Alexandria City Public School students. All right, it is my pleasure to be with you here today on behalf of Interim Superintendent Dr. Melanie K. Wyatt to honor our Alexandria City High School students who participated in the Equal Justice Initiative Essay Contest in partnership with the Alexandria Community Remembrance Project. The Remembrance Project has been a moving experience since our Alexandria City Public School students first became involved in April of 2022. Since then, our participation as part of the Remembrance Project has grown with the help of Alexandria City High School teachers, Ms. Leslie Jones and Mr. Alim Shabazz. Would they please stand? Phenomenal work. Their passion and dedication to the project has indeed been second to none, so thank you. The pilgrimage we made last fall to the Equal Justice Initiative's National Memorial of Peace and Justice and Legacy Museum in Alabama changed our lives forever. Having been a part of this experience, I stand here today, all the more realizing the importance of the ACPS mission, equity for all, at the heart of our 2025 strategic plan. I also appreciate how our plan to address racial inequity aligns with what the Alexandria Community Remembrance Project and Equal Justice Initiative represents. It is an honor for me to participate in this recognition ceremony being held today in Council Chambers in Alexandria City Hall, together with Mayor Justin Wilson and other dignitaries to recognize our Alexandria City High School students who participated in the Remembrance Project and Equal Justice Initiative Essay Contest. Our students were tasked with examining the history of racial injustice and exploring how this injustice continues today. Looking at our past and participating in the soil collection ceremony for Alexandria's two known lynching victims, Joseph McCoy and Benjamin Thomas, serve as a reminder that we must never allow such heinous crimes to ever be repeated. In their essays, ACHS students were asked to explain how the history of racial justice with the myth of Black inferiority and white supremacy that was developed to justify slavery plays a role in explaining present-day injustice in our society. Each of the 10 students presented an essay then chose a historical event and exploring how this history of injustice can be overcome as we address the challenges our nation faces today. Fittingly, the essay contest launched on January 16th, 2022, the day we observed civil rights icon, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Our students did an amazing job addressing the Equal Justice Initiative's objective of how a new era of truth and justice can be achieved as we confront a history of racial injustice. Before announcing our essay contest winners, I would like to commend all of our students who went on the pilgrimage to Alabama with us last October. Some of our ACHS students documented the event on video to serve as a reminder of how this experience opened the conversation about racial injustice as we reflected on the pain in this history while vowing to work towards a more inclusive future. Can I have the students who worked on the video to please stand? Excellent job. And if you have not seen the film, please watch it. It's very moving. Their documentary entitled "They Are All Honored Here" premiered in March 2023. Thank you for inviting us to be a part of this conversation to honor ACPS Essay Contest entrants today and join in the recognition of an important part of ACPS's equity journey. Thank you.
Good morning. How's it going, everyone? Good. I'm doing well. Well, thank you all for joining us today in this momentous event to be able to honor these students for their brilliant contributions to racial justice within the United States here in America. My name is Dexios Damtu, and I am a project assistant here at the Equal Justice Initiative. And despite what my hairline might say, I'm still pretty young myself. It's definitely an honor to be able to be here with you all here in Alexandria to get a chance to honor some of the gifted and talented students, and the people who spoke before me couldn't have put it better. There are so many of you who might not be receiving an award today, but also contributed in amazing ways to this project as well. I wanted to thank the Coalition for the amazing work that they've done with putting this together, as well as everyone else who helped in the project in making this possible. I want to spend briefly a little bit of time telling you all about the history of the Equal Justice Initiative and how we got to this point of doing community remembrance work and partnering with communities like yours to be able to continue to honor the lives and the memory of these victims of racial terror violence. The Equal Justice Initiative was founded in 1989 by our executive director, Mr. Brian Stevenson, in a response to a crisis in Alabama on the death row. We find that Alabama is one of the places with the worst conditions for folks who are on death row. At the time, 1/4 of all executions in this country were taking place in Alabama. When the crisis began to be addressed by the Equal Justice Initiative, we moved from being just a federally funded institution to be a privately funded institution so we could take on more and more challenges as the crisis continued to grow. As mass incarceration grew, we noticed that it wasn't just adults that needed to be defended, but also children who were condemned to die in prison. The United States is the only country in the world where kids as young as 13 have been sentenced to imprisonment without the possibility of parole. This injustice is something the Equal Justice Initiative has worked hard to address. But over time, the Equal Justice Initiative realized that it's not enough to just fight injustices within the court. You have to address it outside of the courts as well, because the victories and the battles that are fought in the court are informed by the public sphere, the ideas that you all wrote about in your essay. And to do this, EJI launched a public education project. focused on telling the truth about America's racial history. Through research, writing, and community partnerships, EJI worked to document and memorialize the areas of enslavement, racial terror lynching, segregation, and mass incarceration. Our Community Remembrance Project is one way that we are able to work alongside community partners like Alexandria throughout the country who are taking on the challenging, necessary work of truth-telling about our history, which we believe will help to build a future rooted in justice. Through soil collections, historical markers, and the racial justice essay contest that we are here to witness today, the Community Remembrance Project has helped communities across the nation reckon with tragic local histories of racial violence and unresolved trauma through public memorials and dialogue. When EJI began working with coalitions around the country to memorialize victims of racial terrorism, it was our hope to help bring exactly what you see here today, to help begin the process of truth and reconciliation, of truth and repair. Now, we have heard up here before that our generation, and I'll include and say our generation because I believe I'm still a part of y'all's generation, has the power to really extend the truth-telling that EJI has begun, which is the true power of the essay contest that we've seen here today, and which is why it is an honor to be here with you all to honor the work that you're doing and to hope that this is just one of a couple of steps that we're taking in the process moving forward of truth-telling in search of reconciliation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Rose Dawson, and I am the director of the library, and I am joined by my co-chair, Sarah Whalen, who is the ACPS Social Studies Specialist, and we had the pleasure of serving as the co-chairs of the essay contest. And at this time, I'd like for any other committee members who are in the audience to please stand. So over the last year, our committee took the opportunity to run the contest, which is a partnership with the Equal Justice, and it was supported by ACPS and the ACRP. So how did we get here? The committee met every month, leading up to the launch of the essay contest to ensure that we would have a successful launch and to ensure that writing and editing support would be available to any of the students who wanted to participate. Now, the library, the recreation department, and the high school held pizza and proof parties and provided opportunities where our students could locate a willing ear and in some instances, a red marker, and provide the necessary support that they desired. The committee also met after the launch to ensure that students other than those who participated within the Montgomery tour, that they knew about the contest, and we also planned the event for today. So I'd like at this point to commend the Remembrance students and the Black Student Union for their hosting of that launch party on January the 13th in the Rotunda at the high school. Because in the end, we ended up with 10 students who met the challenge. And this was indeed a challenge. This is not an easy task to do. The emotions that our students experienced as they embarked on writing this essay were real. And so the racial justice essays that they submitted, we would like at this point in time to honor those 10 students. And so I will hand the podium over to my co-chair.
And we will call each student's name who submitted an essay, and we invite you to come up to the podium, and we'll present you with an ACRP pin, as well as a copy of the Mayor's Proclamation. Alem. Okay. Aisha Anwar. Rena Cooper. Nima Dillard. Miracle Gross. Madia Hashimi. Zara Hashimi. London Jones. Naeem Scott. Okay, Naeem's mom. Okay. His mother is accepting on his behalf. Thank you for being here. And Crystal Wobel. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
We'd like to take a picture.
Oh, good picture. Okay.
We'd like for the mayor and the representative from the superintendent to join us. So we'll come venture ourselves somehow.
What do you want to do? You want to go this side so we can not have the podium in the way? You tell me.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm letting you out
No,
here.
you're good. Congratulations.
If our students would stay up.
And then could we just have another round of applause to recognize all the students who participated in the essay contest real quick? We are so grateful for your dedication and hard work on these essays. I would now like to spend some time recognizing and announcing the winners in order from third to first place of our EJI Racial Justice Essay Contest. And for the winners, when your names are called, please come up to accept your award. Tiffany will be helping me out with getting the awards out to you all. And then, just make sure to give me a handshake. We'll get you your picture, so don't run off before you get your picture. Without further ado, I would like to announce the top 3 places. In third place, we have Aisha Anwar. Maybe we can do you want to hold the bag like this? There's a lot for you to carry. Here, I'll take it. Here we go. All right, congratulations. Here we go. Yeah, of course. They've got so much stuff we're giving them. In second place, we have Rena Cooper. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. And your first place winner, London Jones. All right, thank you. Thank you all so much. We have, like I said, we want to, actually first let's just do another big round of applause for everyone up here. And congratulations to all the winners, but we also had a gift for everyone who participated in the essay competition that was up here as well. Yeah, we've got a copy of Just Mercy for them as well, so we'll make sure to hand those out to you all later as well too. So thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Peter Ballas, the executive principal of Alexandria City High School, and I have the honor of introducing our first place winner, Ms. London Jones. London Jones, a junior at Alexandria City High School and a member of the Black Student Union, moved to Alexandria more than 2 years ago from Washington, D.C. Her teacher, the wonderful Ms. Sarah Kiak, says that London is a gifted artist with a talent that is palpable. When discussing important texts or social matters, she said, London readily shares her perspectives and helps illuminate the understanding as a class. After attending the launch party for the EJI essay contest, London said, she was inspired to write about the historic and present plight of Black teenage boys accused of crimes they did not commit. Her essay used the examples of the Central Park Five and Trayvon Martin to illustrate the problems with our justice system. London hopes to attend an HBCU and major in the humanities before pursuing a master's degree on her way to a career directing films. Let's all give it up for Ms. London Jones.
Hi, thank you. I think I'm supposed to read my essay, but I think I left my phone over there. Is it right there? Yeah, hold on. All right, sorry, I did not expect to get first place today. Okay. So I'm supposed to read the full thing, right? Yeah. Okay. So I titled my essay, How Did We Get Here? And I hope y'all enjoy it. Please don't fall asleep. Okay. Tracy McMillan Cotton once wrote, I am living in the most opportune time in Black history in the United States, and that means still that I will die younger, live poorer, risk more exposure to police violence, and be punished by social policy for being a Black woman in ways that aren't true for almost any other group in this nation. This quote has never felt more accurate than the 2020s. In America, we have been told by our schools and government that our history of violent racism was so long ago, that people aren't like that anymore, and that this prejudice was essentially dead. But this is something we know is embedded in every single aspect of our lives, from pop culture to the judicial system. That truth cannot ever be covered up. Beatings, lynchings, shootings. Because of the way we happen to look, we will get accused and punished for crimes that are either not committed by us or simply never occurred. And our aforementioned government, the one who's supposed to protect every living human's unalienable rights, does not and will not help this epidemic of Black oppression because they ultimately can benefit from it. However, now that we have social media and the internet, this could very well be the generation to put this torment to rest. But in order to do so, we need to fully acknowledge the past and ask ourselves a hard question: how did we get here? So in 1989, 5 teenage boys were arrested under the accusation of raping and assaulting a white female jogger in Central Park, New York City. While they were innocent, they were ultimately convicted due to being coerced into false confessions by the police officers in the case, using methods of manipulation, threats, and violence. Each teen spent 6 to 13 years in prison without coverage in the media. They were deemed the Central Park Five, and after they were proven innocent, acclaimed director Ava DuVernay went on to convey their story in When They See Us. This was the first time many people have ever heard of what happened to these men, and that was intentional. There have been many cases over the decades of Black males being accused and punished for false crimes. These occurrences are not told in the full truth to further the narrative of aggressive Black people. Individuals justify discrimination against African Americans because if the news tells them Black people have raped and murdered white people so much, then they must be dangerous. And that exact false narrative is what perpetuates racial stereotypes in order to exclude us from any realm outside of our own culture. It is exactly what white supremacists need to hear in order to go out on killing sprees, claiming to be doing a service for their nation. February 26, 2012, a 17-year-old black high schooler is staying with his father in Sanford, Florida. While walking home from a trip to a convenience store, Skittles and a bottle of juice in hand, neighborhood patrol officer George Zimmerman spotted him and reported him as suspicious to the Sanford police. Though they advised him not to follow the teen, he proceeded. Soon after, he was shot and killed by that officer. His name was Trayvon Martin. There were no eyewitnesses to the event, just a bruised and bloody cop who was able to claim self-defense because the true victim had already taken his last breath. It was later revealed that Trayvon was seen as guilty because of his apparent criminal record, which began to leak into social media. This record consisted of skipping school, writing abbreviated profanity on a hallway locker, and trace amounts of THC in his system. At the time I saw the story, I was 6 years old. I've heard of the civil rights movement and slavery, but I'd never seen racism. I always grew up in my community, so surrounded by my people that had never been to school for white kids until my 10th grade year. But when I saw what happened to Trayvon, all I could do was be scared. I didn't know things like this could happen now. Every picture of an activist was in black and white, and all the diverse friends on Disney Channel seemed to be getting along great. So how could anyone be defending an innocent kid who was barely younger than my brother? It was because the world had been fed a narrative that has been supported by decades of false accusations against us. See the previously mentioned Central Park 5, see Emmett Till, see Purvis Payne. This is a tragic pattern that has and will continue to repeat itself if we continue to ignore it. Trayvon Martin has not committed any crime, had barely even lived, and yet was deemed a suspicious thug for existing in America. So at 6 years old, I wondered, if I exist, could I die too? In the end, America has a massive epidemic on its hands. Stemming from centuries of discrimination, stereotypes, brutality, and false media, African-American citizens are being killed at a staggering rate with no rhyme or reason, purely out of hate. It is ingrained into our community, into our media, into our government, and in every single aspect of our lives. But as dire as our situation is, I still believe that there is hope for the U.S. We need to educate everyone of all ages about Black history in depth, implement effective laws, and truly try to understand the systemic racism that is involved in our lives. We especially need to destigmatize being proudly Black, because if we don't, then these deaths will continue to pile up. America as a whole needs to be better. So to conclude this essay, I'd like to leave you with one question: how did we get here? Thank you.
That was amazing, and talk about speaking truth to power. That's it right there. And so, London, thank you again. It's truly, this is what this contest is about. And I have been with the city, this year is my 30th year, and with the beginning of ACRP in 2019, as it was approved by Mayor and City Council, Alexandria took a big step to educate its community about our history of racial terror, hate crimes. And I say this because as we have Mr. Damtu here from EJI, we are one of the few, I don't think there are many municipalities who are coalitions as a part of EJI. And I say that because we have done such wonderful work with what we are doing. And I can see so many of you out here with tears in your eyes, and I'm trying not to cry now myself. And it's showing what a municipality can do to try to educate its community. Our community knew about the lynchings of Joseph McCoy and the Black community about Joseph McCoy and Benjamin Thomas. But now, with the help of our ACRP members, our steering committee members, those of us who joined us on the pilgrimage, our students from the Alexandria City High School, we are making sure our community really honors the memory and speaks truth to power and tells the truth about Joseph McCoy and Benjamin Thomas and other stories that might bubble up to the surface. And it's so important, and it's so important to listen to these stories and hear them, because I know that sometimes they are also very painful, but it helps us make a better community. And we have created a multi-generational community that has really come together. The students here who have worked on their film, which was fantastic, also joined us on the pilgrimage, went to soil ceremonies, participated in our remembrances, and we owe you all from the Alexandria City High School such a great debt of gratitude for your work and your commitment to us, and so I want to thank you again for that. You know, I have a mother who has Alzheimer's, and I visit her on Saturdays. And last Saturday, was Sunday actually, I visited, and it was Mother's Day, and we were talking, and it was after our celebrations, and it's usually the time where I can get sometimes some clarity from her and find out about family history. And I remembered something that she had told me in my childhood, that my grandfather had witnessed a lynching in Virginia. And I said to her, "Was that true?" And she said, "Yes, it was true." And I said, "Do you remember any details?" And she said, "I do, but too painful, I can't talk about it." So that generational trauma is there. There are still people who remember, and it's because of people, students like all of you who entered our essay contest, who want to bring those stories to the forefront, to speak for those who can't speak. As our mayor was saying, you are the next generation. You are the ones who are going to make great changes in this country. And sometimes when we get very sad and we think things are going backward, we do know, London, as you said, that there is hope. And I believe that there's hope. So again, keep speaking truth to power, keep participating, and please join us on our ACRP journey. And I know that I am standing between you and food and also prom. So I wish you all, a very, very safe and happy prom. And I look forward to interacting with you all downstairs. So again, thank you, and thank you for participating. One more thing, thank you, Tiffany. For the students who have participated with us with ACRP, we do have copies of the proclamation downstairs for you, and we'll give them to you then. Take care. Oh, yes, please come up for a picture. We want to do a big group picture. So can we have all of our students come up to the, thank you.
Usually we stand in the back, so I don't know how we're going to do that.
Actually, if you want to do us to stand
Yeah, so, yeah. Some of us go up behind.
There we go. Good. Scoot over back, sir. All right, see how that was. All right, I think they got it. Just look at faces. Can you go the other side? There you go. I think that's good. Correction. Maybe flip it over this way. Good. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think I got it.
It was like everything's green. That helps.
Do you want to talk about it? Yeah. Ashley, you know, we keep her very busy.